Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Octopus Math by Sahiba. Okay, question 10. A rectangular picture ABCD is placed inside a rectangular frame. Alright, the total area of the picture and the frame. Right, so this is the picture and this is outside white one is frame. And okay, this is all information defining the diagram. The total area is 476. The total area is when you multiply this by this, right? So if this is x and this is 2 and this is 2, so the total length is going to be x plus 2 plus 2, which is 4. All right. Now, anything else that we have in here? Okay, this information says that the length AB is 3 times its height. So which means this is 3 times of x, right? So this whole length from here to here, it's going to be 3x plus 2 plus 2. So this is going to be 3x plus 4. So 3x plus 4 times x plus 4 is the area, which is given as 476. Some of you might think of doing it like this, that when we use this for multiplication, if you recall this, when if it was a 0 here instead of 476, most of the people would do it like this. But having a 0 is a different case, and having a number other than 0 is a different case. Because, let me tell you something about it, that if it was a 0 here, let me write 0 here instead of 476 and help you understand how things are. So if it was 0, the actual meaning of this is that this is a number, this is another number, two numbers are multiplied and the result is 0, which means we know that two non-zero numbers can never give you 0 on multiplication. That means either of them has to be 0 in order to get the product to be equal to 0. But if the product is non-zero, that means if the product is 476, it's not necessary for either of them to be equal to 476. Non 476 numbers can also give you 476 on multiplication. You know what I mean? So this thing is like wrong here. So what do you do? The only way of solving this further is you open up the brackets. So how do you open up the brackets? You take the first element in the first one and then you multiply it with everything in the second bracket. Then you take the second element of the first bracket, you multiply with everything that is in the second bracket. So it's 3x squared plus 12x plus 4x plus 16. And because if we see in the question that we have to form an equation and simplify it to this, that means to the right side we have 0 and we have to do the similar case here. There should be 0 on my right side, so I'm moving this 476 to my left and I'll be left with 0 on my right. Okay, so I'll be solving. So 12 and 4 gives me 16x, and 16 minus 476 is 460 negative. So I'm done, right? So this, show that it simplifies to, or prove that, these things like that. This means that the answer is already given in the question. You just have to reach to that answer. You don't have to start from that answer. Right. So for part B, you don't have to solve it further because it just tells you to simplify this till here. All right. Now for part B, it says solve. Okay. So let me quickly use my calculator and see if my answers are coming in decimals. So I immediately, safest option is quadratic formula. You don't have to use your time in finding out the factors of it. So yeah, it's 10 and negative 15.333. Okay, it's a recurring number. That means it can be factorized. So if you want, you can do that. But okay, but like quadratic formula is too easy because 3 times 460 is a huge number, and then finding out the factors of that much, too time taking. So I'm safely going to use quadratic formula. Say I really want to save my time. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is the general form. So my coefficient of x squared is a. So my a is 3. Coefficient of x is b. So my b is 16. The constant number is c. So it's negative 460. Be careful of the signs. The formula says minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Just substitute in the values. Minus 16 plus minus 16 squared, which is 256, minus 4 times 3 times negative 460 gives me negative 5520. So negative and negative positive, it's 5520 over 2 times 3, which is 6. Right, so because of this plus minus thing, what happens is that it tells us to write it twice. Like this. So whatever is inside the square root, that is this, so minus 16 plus square root of 5776 divided by 6 gives me 10 whole. Okay, and minus 46 over 3 or minus 15 whole 1 over 3, whichever you want to write. If you want to write it in decimals, it's also fine because it doesn't tell you that the answer is to be decimals or fractions, or it doesn't tell you anything. The answer just has to be simplified. It's fine if you give your answer in mixed fraction or improper fraction or decimals, it's fine. So part C is find the height and length of the frame. Moving back to the question, height and length of the frame, right? So this is the frame, which means these two are required. So remember what these were. This was x plus 4 and this was 3x plus 4, right? So basically these two are required. So here in part B, we were just solving the equation for x and we didn't really care about what x was. Here in part C, it does matter what x really is, right? So we are going to reject this negative value of x, not in part B, but in part C, and accept this value of 10 because x itself is a length which can't be negative or 0, right? So x plus 4 and 3x plus 4 are length and width. So length and height. So length is going to be 3x plus 4 and height is going to be x plus 4. Now, accepting x is equal to 10 only, this gives me 3 times 10 plus 4 gives me the length, so it's 34, and x plus 4, it's 10 plus 4, which gives me 14. Okay, so this is the scale which is given, that 1 centimeter cube weighs about 0.7 grams. So we need to calculate the weight, the mass of the wood, and the volume of the wood is unknown. All right, so first we need to find the volume of the wood. Once we know the volume of wood, then we can use cross multiplication, because the more volume of wood you take, the more it's going to weigh. So it's cross multiplication. That's for later use, but eventually we are interested in, right now, and we are interested in calculating the volume of wood. So first we need to find the base area of the wood. Let me go back. Okay, so this is where the frame is. Okay, so this is only where the wood is, right? So if you want to calculate the area of this is actually 476, the area of the total thing minus the area of the frame, because we are not interested in the volume of the whole thing. We are only interested in the volume of the wood, and wood is not where the picture is. So subtract it from x times 3x. So remember x was 10 and 3x is this. So it's going to be 30. Base is 30. So minus 300 gives us 176. This is the base area of the wood. So base area volume is base area times height. Okay. And because we want in centimeter cube, we have to make sure that everything is centimeter. So 176 was in centimeter square already, times the thickness should be in centimeter as well. So it's going to be 0.5. 176 times 0.5 gives you 88. So the volume is 88. So 88 times 0.7 gives you 61.6. Subscribe to my channel Octopus Math by Sahiba for more videos.